Dali designed the backdrops for a dream sequence in which he revisited the eye-slitting moment that he'd devised in Chien Andalou. Hitchcock understood exactly why Dali was going to work so well on film.
I requested Dali. Selznick, the producer, had the impression that I wanted Dali for the publicity value. Yeah. That wasn't it at all. What I was after was, again, the thing we talked about earlier, the vividness of dreams. As you know, all Dali's work is very solid and very sharp, with very long perspectives and black shadows. This was, again, the avoidance of the cliché. All dreams in movies are blurred. It isn't true. Dali was the best man for me to do the dreams because that's what dreams should be. So that was the reason I had Dali.
During the filming of Spellbound, Dali met another filmmaker with whom he could collaborate, Walt Disney.
At the beginning of 1946, Dali arrived here at the Walt Disney Studios to work on a 6-minute animated film called Destino. For the next 8 weeks, he clocked in every morning like a regular employee and headed down Dopey Drive to make his preparatory sketches. Dali loved the creative possibilities of animation. Now he could take all the elements of his paintings, the melting forms, illusions and optical trickery, to a fantastical new level.
Dali's animation was in fact never made in his lifetime. Instead, his drawings remained here in the Disney archives until 2003, when animator Dave Bossert finally brought Dali's vision to life.
Dali had always admired Walt Disney's animation. He thought that that was a natural extension of surrealism. I've got a couple examples of some of the visual development work that he did, and this is actually one of my favorite pieces. I really like this piece a lot. There's a baby carriage for this woman's head, and she's wearing the snail slippers, which are kind of interesting.
What does it mean?
You know, it beats me. I don't know what it means, but I like looking at it. This one, it's showing our hero. She's actually sort of dancing up this incline, and there's this vat of eyeballs here, and when she gets up to the top, she's going to go off and fall into a big basket of eyeballs. Don't ask me to tell you what that means. Anything like melting clocks or a telephone receiver like a spider, those things are just perfect for animation. Absolutely perfect. They're whimsical, they're fantasy, they're fun. Those are the types of things you want to see in animation.
By the 1950s, Dali was the world-famous champion of surrealism and would try his hand at almost anything. As the years passed, his moustache grew ever longer, and his behaviour became ever more eccentric. Like a circus showman, he constantly engineered weird stunts that would attract headlines. One of many was his 12-metre-long loaf of bread. Many felt that Dali was undermining his reputation. They were dismayed that the man who'd created such groundbreaking and influential work was descending into buffoonery. But Dali's antics popularised surrealism, taking it far beyond the elite world of fine art. Today, it's everywhere. You can hardly turn on your TV without encountering the surreal. I've come to meet top ad exec Robert Senior to find out why today's commercials in particular are so often so surreal.
I mean, I just should start by saying I really love that ad. And part of the reason I think I love it is because you've got this gorilla who looks so soulful and sort of kind of sad and a bit melancholy, and then he just lets rip and he starts drumming, and it's all really good fun. What it's got to do with chocolate, I do not know at all, but my understanding is that it works.
The start point was, we want to bring to life, and dramatise, if you like, unbridled joy.
Why a gorilla?
Why not?
Well,
but isn't that precisely the point of surrealism? Things are so much more beguiling the less you understand them.
Yeah. But something else like, I don't know, a lizard doing the can-can, that wouldn't work.
It could have been. You see, that's the wrong lens. That's the lens to try and understand why, to try and apply a cognitive analysis to it, is to miss the point. Its start point is not, I want you to think differently about this. The start point is, I want you to feel an emotion about that. The art of a great salesman is they don't have to sell. And surrealism takes you away from the real, quite literally, into another place. And it makes you feel something that you can't quite rationalise. If you take Dali himself, I think he really understood branding in its truest sense. He understood the importance of being, of the element of surprise. And that's just great. And yet he was very consistent in that, included in how he presented himself. And that's the mark of a great brand.
He understood branding so much that he actually started appearing in ads. And I brought along a disc with a couple of his best ads on it, and I'd like to... I don't think you've ever seen them. I don't know.
I haven't seen them, no.
But it'd be good to get your professional opinion, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Happy wobbles, but devoted wobbles. Then the Alka-Seltzer shoots into the stomach. Here, it neutralizes that bad excess acid. Meantime, the special aspirin is speeding into your bloodstream to all places of pain. So those beautiful places will feel beautiful again. Alka-Seltzer is a work of art, truly one of a kind, like Dali.
Je suis fou du chocolat lambert.
I think the first one, for the Alka-Seltzer, was genius. It's a magnificently engaging product demo. It's fantastic, because it's bonkers. And you have a surrealist being surreal about an incredibly logical piece of science. That's a juxtaposition, if ever there was one. I think that was great. I think the chocolate one was pointless.
Pointless? I love the chocolate one.
Yeah, but it's just exactly great. And you'll buy it and I won't. That's how it goes. That's how it works.
So Dali was more than happy to peddle his own brand of surrealism for commercial gain. Like here, in an advert for stockings.
Dali even designed the logo for this incredibly familiar lollipop. Now, I had loads of these when I was a kid, and what I never actually knew was that all the time I was licking a surrealist work of art.
Despite the stunts and commercial ventures, Dali's post-war career did deliver some of his most popular paintings. A new fascination with religion informed pictures like The Temptation of St. Anthony. Recalling the imagery of his childhood, Dali fused the Virgin with Gala in his painting, The Madonna of Port Legat. The crucifixion inspired him too. In 1951, he painted Christ of St. John on the cross. Its bold perspective, apparently inspired by a dream, reveals the coast of Cadaqués beneath a hovering cross. And with the onset of the Cold War and the nuclear age, another big theme caught his imagination.
Just as Freud had preoccupied Dali earlier in his career, now nuclear physics, the science behind the atom bomb, obsessed him most of all. He was about to enter a new phase as an artist and would soon anoint himself the first painter of the atomic age.
He christened this phase nuclear mysticism and began reworking, some say recycling,